This Christmas, some people will smile. Some people will gather around bright tables, under warm lights, with full plates and loud laughter. But somewhere tonight, someone will sit alone in a dark room, whispering a prayer they're not sure anyone still hears. This Christmas is not the same for everyone. And the hardest stories are often the ones told in silence. Christmas is often described as the season of joy. The streets glow with lights. The stores overflow with music. Every screen tells us the same story. Be happy, be grateful, be together. And for many people, that story is real. Families reunite. Children laugh. Homes feel warm. But that is not the whole picture. Because while one world celebrates loudly, another world survives quietly. We see decorated homes, wrapped gifts stacked carefully beneath trees, perfect photos posted online, smiling faces frozen in time. We hear cheerful songs in every store. Songs about peace. Songs about love. Songs about home. We're told this is the happiest time of the year. And sometimes, it truly is. There are people who wait all year for this season. People who love the lights, the food, the memories. And that joy is real. It deserves space. It deserves gratitude. But Christmas was never meant to be only about what we see. Because not everyone experiences this season the same way. For some people, Christmas magnifies what is missing. It doesn't heal the pain. It reveals it. The Christmas we don't see. There is another Christmas. A quieter one. A Christmas that does not appear in advertisements. A Christmas that does not trend online. A Christmas without decorations or dinners. It exists in small rooms. In hospital hallways. In cars parked outside homes people are afraid to enter. It exists where grief still lives. There is a mother this Christmas who will set one less plate on the table. There is a father who lost his job and smiles anyway, hoping his children don't notice the worry behind his eyes. There is someone sitting alone tonight, scrolling through memories, wondering how life changed so quickly. And there is someone praying, not with confidence, but with exhaustion. Some people carry loss quietly. They still show up. They still say, "Merry Christmas." They still smile when asked how they're doing. But inside, they are holding together something that feels broken. Loneliness hits harder during Christmas. Not because people disappear, but because connection feels farther away. When everyone else seems surrounded by joy, silence feels heavier. The empty chair feels louder. The unanswered message feels colder. And loneliness doesn't always mean being alone. Sometimes it means being surrounded by people who don't know your pain. Some people will attend gatherings this Christmas while carrying grief no one can see. Some will laugh on the outside while fighting tears in the quiet moments afterward. And some will choose to stay home, not because they don't care, but because they don't have the strength to pretend. Christmas has a strange way of asking people to perform happiness, to prove they're okay, to move on, to be grateful, even when their heart is still healing. But healing does not follow a calendar. Pain does not pause for holidays. And faith does not always look like confidence. Sometimes faith looks like survival. There are prayers whispered this season that don't sound holy. They sound tired. They sound confused. They sound like someone saying, "God, I don't know how to do this anymore." And that prayer, that honest prayer, is not weak. It is brave. Faith during Christmas is often portrayed as bright and strong. But real faith is often quiet. It sits in the dark and waits. It questions. It doubts. It aches. And yet, it stays. Because faith is not always about feeling God close. Sometimes it's about believing He is near, even when you feel alone. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 verse 18. For some people, that verse is not a celebration. It's a lifeline. If Christmas only told one story, the loud one, the joyful one, many people would feel invisible. But the real Christmas story was never about perfection. It began quietly, in the dark, with uncertainty, with humble beginnings. And that matters, because it means God understands silence. He understands waiting. He understands pain. So if this Christmas feels heavy for you, if joy feels distant, if faith feels fragile, you are not alone. And this season was not designed to exclude you. It was meant to remind you that light does not avoid darkness. It enters it. In the next part, we will talk about prayer. Not the perfect kind, but the honest kind. The kind spoken through tears. The kind whispered when words feel hard. And we will talk about compassion. Not charity for applause, but kindness done quietly. Because sometimes, the most powerful Christmas moments happen when no one is watching. Prayer during Christmas is often imagined as beautiful. Soft music, folded hands, grateful words spoken with confidence. But that is not the only kind of prayer. There is another kind. A prayer that doesn't sound polished, doesn't feel strong, and doesn't arrive with answers. It arrives with honesty. Some prayers this season are whispered, not spoken. Some are cried, not said. Some never leave the heart, because the mouth is too tired to form words. And yet, they are still prayers. Prayer is not always about saying the right thing. Sometimes it's about showing up, even when you don't know what to say. Sometimes prayer is silence. Sometimes prayer is simply breathing and hoping God understands what you cannot explain. There are people praying this Christmas who are not asking for miracles. They are asking for strength. Strength to get through another day. Strength to keep going for their children. Strength to believe that this pain will not last forever. And that kind of prayer matters. Faith is often portrayed as unshakable. But real faith bends. It trembles. It questions. It gets tired. And still, it stays. Some people feel guilty because their faith feels weak. They think, if I really believed, I wouldn't feel this broken. But faith was never meant to erase pain. Faith was meant to sit with you inside it. There are moments when belief feels more like hope holding on by a thread. And that thread, no matter how thin, is still enough. We do not know what we ought to pray for. But the Spirit Himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. Romans 8 verse 26. Sometimes God hears what we cannot say. Sometimes faith is simply trusting that you are still being held, even when you feel like you are falling apart. Prayer does not always change circumstances immediately, but it changes something inside us. It reminds us that we are not carrying life alone. It creates space for hope to breathe, even in the smallest way. Prayer at Christmas is powerful because it meets us exactly where we are. Not where we think we should be. Not where others expect us to be. But where we actually are. A tired prayer. A confused prayer. A broken prayer. God does not reject those. He leans closer. Christmas generosity is often loud. Big donations. Public gestures. Photos taken, moments shared. And generosity can be beautiful. But there is another kind of giving. One that happens quietly. It happens when no one is watching. When there is no recognition. No applause. No post. Just compassion. Quiet charity looks like this. A meal left anonymously at a doorstep. A coat given without explanation. A bill paid quietly. A listening ear offered without judgment. Some of the most powerful kindnesses never make it into stories. They simply change lives. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Matthew 6 verse 3. This kind of giving is not about being seen. It is about seeing others. Not everyone can give a lot. But everyone can give something. Time. Attention. Care. Sometimes charity is not money. It is presence. A message sent at the right moment. A visit made when someone feels forgotten. A kind word offered when someone feels invisible. Small acts done with love carry more weight than grand gestures done for recognition. There are people this Christmas who will survive because someone chose to care quietly. They may never know who helped them, but they will feel the impact. The heart of Christmas was never excess. It was humility. It was God choosing to enter the world quietly. Without status. Without comfort. Without attention. And that matters. Because it tells us something important. That the most meaningful things often arrive without noise. Compassion does not need permission. It does not need perfect timing. It simply asks us to notice. To slow down. To see who is hurting around us. As you listen right now, ask yourself gently, who around me might be struggling this Christmas? Who might need kindness more than advice? Who might need prayer more than answers? You don't have to fix anyone. You don't have to solve their pain. Sometimes being present is enough. And sometimes, being present changes everything. If this season feels heavy for you, know this. You are not failing. You are human. And you are not alone. If joy feels distant, that does not mean Christmas has passed you by. It may simply mean that Christmas is meeting you quietly. In stillness. In reflection. In compassion. Let us take a moment to pray together. Not loudly. Not perfectly. Just honestly. God. For those listening who feel tired, give rest. For those who feel lonely, bring comfort. For those carrying grief, hold them gently. For the ones who are smiling on the outside, but breaking on the inside, remind them they are seen. Teach us to pray honestly, to give quietly, to love without needing recognition. Help us remember that light does not disappear in darkness. It shines within it. And this Christmas, may your peace find every heart that needs it most. Amen. This Christmas, may you find meaning, not in what is loud, but in what is true. Not in what is perfect, but in what is real. And may the quiet moments Remind you that you are never forgotten.